Water back up.
Water's back on.
Oh, is it? How much money is it? Because it's been off this whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very little.
Gee.
Okay, so we are reconvening open session at 12:26 a.m. We're on agenda item number 16. But I don't want to pass this up because I want to hit these first to make sure we haven't missed anything, okay? So let's go back to item number 2. That is the future land use map. Go ahead.
I was going to ask the mayor to coordinate a joint city council and planning and zoning commission meeting next week to address the future land use map with a public hearing, with the direction of the strong input from the citizens here tonight that residential uses be used on the future land use map.
Larry? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. So we will join the P&Z next week and add this to it. And we're wanting to increase in residential. And so now we're going to move on to agenda item number 6. And that is to ratify a previous decision.
Mayor,
Oh, sorry, yes.
can we put that after the other executive session discussions, please?
Let's do that. We'll say that for last. That's fine. We're
Thank
not
you.
going in specific order. I can do that. Okay, so let's move to number 13, and that is the severance. Discuss the severance package and/or separation agreement for Jeff Gibson. And then, of course, that was also an executive session agenda item. So if there is any action to take, you can do that, given the two.
Yeah, I'll suggest that we table this and take no action until further due diligence has been completed on this topic.
Y'all have speakers. You have speakers for this one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
This is 13, correct?
This is number 13, yes. So if you have submitted to speak, yes, of course, come to the
Any speakers for 294 Pike Road. Again, Connie, I guess I'm going to take up where we left off. When you made a comment today that we never get to talk to the city manager. Did you make that comment?
I'm sorry, say that again.
That you made a comment when you and Andy were discussing things about legalities as far as your conversations with city manager, and you made the comment that you never get to, you're not supposed to speak, or we never get to speak to that. I don't know how you worded it.
Yeah, so he was told, my understanding by from him as well as a witness, that he was told that he could not speak to council.
I'll allow you to say that witness.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'll allow you to say who the witness was.
Deetra.
Okay.
But wait, one second, Angie.
Okay.
Did you witness that I told Jeff Gibson not to talk to council?
No, where was I at when
Deetra, you called me on the phone.
I did? I called you? About what?
Deetra, you called me on the phone, and you said that you told me there in your office that that conversation had happened when he was getting fired and then put on suspension. And you said, and then you called me back later, and you said, oh, well, I thought about this, and there were...
Oh, yeah, I do recall that, yes.
So what
But
was
it was a volatile conversation, so I kind of don't really remember everything that was said.
So that I told Jeff that he can't talk to anybody on council?
I don't recall saying that.
So I did many times, just for the record, tell him he should stop briefing the council because they all talk to each other, and that is a violation of TOMA. We're talking about city business outside of an open meeting. I did say that. I did not tell him he cannot talk to council. That's ridiculous. So please don't pull it. Sorry.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go before, when you said you suspended, I don't think that's the proper word, but these records are gonna predate the date you're referring to. But I just wanna lead into what I'm trying to get to. If you are speaking with the city manager on any type of topic, or you feel like the need to call him, in your opinion, what would be an acceptable amount of time? Like, say, a month? What do you think is acceptable to reach out to your city manager?
Most of the time that I spoke with Jeff was he was traveling to work, and I get to work at 6:30. And that was actually any time that I ever spoke with Rick Chafin as well, because it didn't interrupt his day. And I'm a talker.
So you routinely communicate with him by phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I talk to a lot of people. I'm a talker.
And discuss business?
I'm sorry?
Discuss city business?
I discuss a lot of things.
Okay. Again, I mean, what do you believe is an acceptable amount of time?
I'm not
As a
here
city-
to be,
I'd like to answer questions. You're not being cross-examined.
I can't give you a time and it doesn't really matter.
No, there is an acceptable amount of time.
Would
where
you
we can-
just say the time? Because I know that you have the time there. I have no idea.
Oh, I do have the time.
Well, then just
It's
say it.
substantiated, but I wanna know, because you've lied up here, you've lied to my face.
I've not
And
lied
Mr.
to you
Gibson
at
has
all.
lied to me. Okay, I'll just get right into it then. Okay, we're gonna go from June, these are records pulled from Mr. Gibson's, his log of phone records, which are available to the public and open records requests. And we did a lot of work from June of this year to November of this year. And Connie, you win the prize with 3,554 minutes, which equates to over 60 hours of time on the phone with Mr. Gibson. And it's really interesting that I can give you the highs and lows. And your high was in July, when BNSF was very rampant and the citizens spoke out. in
Mayor, what
protest.
topic is this on? Because I don't know that this is on the agenda.
And move to the point, it's about the severance of Gibson.
And I'm getting there. So you're talking personal business as well as city business, and you're talking to me over 60 hours in a month, which is, 60 hours from June to November, which is 10 hours a week on the phone, and a lot of it's after hours. So my point to you, are you just trying to negotiate something for him now that you pushed so hard to try to say he's not an employee of the city? And it has to go back with, you talk that much, and you listen to your citizens, he's not an employee of the city any longer, so I don't quite understand why the need, and there's a pattern when you call, and special events coming up, and complaints being filed, there's definitely a pattern. So, I'd just like to know.
So
Do you think that's acceptable? Well, I'm going with the Gibson because if he was told not to communicate with the city council members, I think 60 hours a month is a little excessive. To be,
Well,
and you're violating statute and ordinance.
they clearly spoke, so we know that.
And that's where I'm going with it. So why would you support an ex-employee based on the numerous violations that I spoke to last meeting? I can't even remember because I'm so delirious at this point after midnight. And he continues, as Andy Messer said, he made it clear that that's not acceptable, but you still continue to do it. And so I don't understand why anything's even being negotiated on behalf of an ex-employee.
Amy, did you say that was?
I'm not sure what she's talking about.
So, it's not,
It goes to ethics, his values, his morals, violation of law, violation of statute.
She's asking, did you say that it was appropriate for him to be forbidden to speak to council?
I didn't say forbidden.
Told not to speak to council.
so
Directed.
he's not supposed to brief council on public business. So basically what you were showing is that there's quite a bit of conversation. I did the same research.
There were several times when we talked about,
Of
there
course,
had
of
been,
course. I think the
there had
difference
been
is
grass fires.
is
and-
that my time with Jeff as the executive branch, being briefed on the city and having information that I could, to do my job, my role, in the course of 6 months was about 12 hours, 2 years 75. So I believe that that's a problem, and I think that that's what Angie has found as well.
Oh, yeah, Angie was like 6 hours.
So
And she
I
got
never
it
told him we can't talk, but I did believe that that was a wedge between us. And so, but we're bringing this up during the severance package, so
And
let's.
I'm just speaking because I don't understand the reason for it being passed, because I brought up multiple issues with how he abused city funds, he abused city property, he has returned property in a very bad situation. He was here tonight. In fact, I'm curious if he was in executive session tonight.
He was brought into executive session. I mean, if it's a personnel issue, under that exception.
But he's not an employee.
It's the firm's belief that he still was, that he still is. It's not mine, but it's the firm's belief.
Mr. Minister, the people voted, and his position was eliminated. So how can you tell me he's still an employee of the city?
There are other ways.
Yeah, so as of right now, they believe that he's still an employee. I disagree, but that's where we are. So on the issue of severance, let's just say he is still an employee. Speak to that if you'd like, but we have to keep it on public here.
Well, for the reasons that I demonstrated last meeting and this meeting, and his continual violation maliciously, intentionally, and he is a law enforcement officer, still considered a law enforcement officer, and to violate such high, I guess, in my consideration, is pretty much unspeakable for him to have done what he's done. And for y'all to sit here and actually want to offer a severance or separation agreement, which separation agreement in mine wouldn't apply, but Mr. Messer might feel a little differently. And it's kind of interesting that y'all called this special meeting just on the term of Mr. Messer not being employed with the city of Gunter, so you could get this agenda passed and approved. So for those reasons, if you don't want to consider these reasons, and Connie, you've demonstrated very unethical behavior throughout your term.
So let's keep this to the severance. They did say tonight they're not making any decisions. Was that?
Hi, my name is Ashley Hawkins, 1650 McConnell Road. So my understanding is that we are obviously not voting in regards to the severance package or separation agreement. After hearing other things, is it my understanding that Jeff Gibson is still currently employed through the city of Gunter? Because we are tabling this, and per Andy saying that he is still recognized by the city, even though the citizens have spoken.
They believe he is still chief of police.
Okay, when Andy's gone, the next meeting, would that be a different discussion?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They're not acting on the severance for now.
So will you be getting paid during the duration of this time for doing nothing?
I stopped his pay on November 16th when he was terminated. The argument is that he has not been terminated. And I mean, he's terminated by the people. I didn't fire him. I placed him on admin leave because I did not plan to pull him back into the police chief position. So for those 2 days, he was just on admin leave until it was official and the council terminated that position. There's no role for him. He has no spot, no position. So Andy's firm believes otherwise. So we have a decision to make. He's here, we're going to either offer severance package and to leave, and release the city of any liability at all on anything, or we, do not. It really depends on whether he's still employed there, and we haven't answered that question tonight, I don't feel like. So, we're postponing any action.
Even though you have a contract or agreement for the city regarding a contract position, we are still going to continue. Okay.
So the relationship currently is an at-will relationship, am I correct?
There's something with, this will be unique for law enforcement officers, and that's Government Code 614. So, I'm being told by Mr. Mester's firm that prevents us from terminating him as police chief. Now, I don't believe that he was actually in that position once we separated the roles, because he appointed Danny Jones to it, and nobody removed Danny Jones, he's still sitting in the position, so it's not something we're gonna settle tonight, so we're not gonna move forward with anything until we can.
Has he provided the passwords to his computer and phone? Has he returned the city items in good working order?
That's probably a conversation for another time.
Well, no, part of the reason I'm asking is if you have council members that are saying that he deserves a severance package and that he's still an employee and he's not complying with it or acting in good faith.
He's returned everything.
Has he, with the passwords to be able to get into them?
No, we don't have a password to this.
Okay, so I guess my point is that he's obstructing city business and city operation while quote unquote being an employee of the city, not doing what's in the best interest of the city. He chose one position over another, and now, because it didn't go the way he wanted it to go, he's going to be a bad actor and be rewarded for it?
He's still chief of police per the firm, and
The beauty is...
We're not taking action on it, we're
no,
just
I
talking
need
about
to,
it.
yeah,
We're
gonna bring this back.
It'll be back up, and you can talk all that all you want, but right now we're not doing anything, so it's done.
So let's go,
I didn't realize she was me.
so,
Well,
okay,
I guess my question would be, what disciplinary action can the city take if he is an employee and he's not complying with directives from the mayor and...
and that's a consideration that I have to make as mayor as well.
Okay.
So with our council leaving us in a couple of days, what are we gonna do in the interim? Are we going to be getting some sort of contract counsel so that we don't need to sit on this? What's the
We're
plan?
gonna advertise for an RFQ to see who responds to us. In the meantime, I have the ability to hire counsel, until we find one.
Andy has agreed to come back to the next meeting.
We may be, of course, maybe here another week. So. We
So
don't
can
really
you
have
give me
anything
an
to
outline,
answer.
what is gonna be the path forward to resolution for this? Cause honestly, y'all, it's 12:44 in the morning.
I know.
I mean, this is, like, as a leadership team, you guys should be embarrassed at the outcome of what is happening. I mean, honestly, in all of my years of working with leadership teams, of being on them, I have never, ever seen anything this ridiculous. I mean, this is embarrassing. So I'd like to know what are the steps that are going to get us to resolution, so we don't have to keep coming to these damn meetings, sitting here wasting our time. You are literally wasting our time. So what are the steps to resolution? What is the very next step?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you right now. We'll have a meeting next week.
To do what in this meeting?
This will be, we'll address it next week.
An executive session? Again, and waste another 2
I would
hours?
say there may be a need for executive session. Pretty possible. Well, I'm going to do what I need to do as mayor and be consistent with.
I think we need to get a second opinion. I'm not sure No offense to you, Mr. Messer, but I just quite honestly do not trust this situation right now. And I think we need to get a second
to
opinion.
the judges. We've got two great attorneys on both sides, right? And they both believe the statute says one thing. I'm not claiming to be an attorney, I just happen to be on the opposite side of this with Mr. Messer. And we did work through that. I'm so sorry, we did work through that. Okay.
Real quick question, he not be terminated for cause based on all the violations that I pointed out and all everybody here is aware of? He has demonstrable violations of a criminal.
I have to go back and look at 614, and we have to do this appropriately, so.
So my other question is, you're saying it is continuing to be on the payroll?
I have not approved that. I directed you to stop payroll on November 16th. So, I don't know the answer to that. I did not expect, I don't believe he's still employed, but they do, so I don't know. We have to figure this out.
So why can't we just accept the resignation of Messer Report this week on the 8th? Why are we doing this representation?
We are accepting it tonight. These questions are being answered right now.
So y'all aren't gonna vote to, you're not even gonna consider just letting him go on the 8th and seeking other representation?
So Mayor, are we on 13? or-
We're on 13, we gotta continue to talk about just,
I mean, 15 is the next one.
way off topic, 14 is next.
Well, it's really not off topic because he is giving you opinion as to what took place in executive session as far as.
So at the end of the day, I'll say this, at the end of the day, he's the attorney, he gives us advice. We decide whether or not we're gonna take it. As the mayor, I have some options, as a governing body, we have some options, and I just need to think through that.
Can I ask a question, please? Do I understand we have two police chiefs as of this moment?
I don't see how. I don't see how.
That's what was
In
stated.
fact, Joe Gibson appointed Danny as interim police chief.
Okay,
He has not been removed.
okay, so we have two.
So I don't know how.
Which one of them has the priority if some emergency happens? Whoever is
Chief
here,
ambulance.
or someone 2.5 miles or 2 hours away, whatever. And is that legal, sir?
I'm not gonna continue to
We can't
make this.
continue
The council
to
said
debate
we're
the.
gonna go on and get further information. So
Is it legal to have two? And which one has the priority if something happens in this?
Right now, Chief Danny Jones is
Okay,
leading the city. He's in charge of the city.
but is that legal to have two?
I'll just reiterate what I just said, Mayor. I'm not gonna continue to
Yeah,
ask
we
this
can't.
on the mayor when the
We can't.
council is gonna consider.
This is ridiculous.
Y'all have
I'm not
2
gonna be
hours
here
to
to
debate
cross
this
examine
one week
either.
and a half. 2.5 hours, but they don't wanna listen to our 10 minutes.
We need to move on.
Are you shitting me?
We need to move on. They said they're not gonna take any action, they want more time to think, and we're gonna have another meeting in a week. So I'm going to move to number 14.
No, I need someone to, Hogan made a motion, so I need someone to second it to table it.
Did you want to? Okay. It's just a
Oh, it is
discuss, not take
discuss.
action.
Okay.
So I'll be back in.
Mayor, just one more thing. Can we request that next week's meeting be in a larger forum? This is not going to be sufficient.
It wasn't tonight. It just won't be next week either. I'll see what I can do. I'll speak to Bill. We don't have a date yet, so, I mean, we're hoping to join the P&Z because they're already scheduled, so we hope that that's how it will work out. Agenda item number 14, discuss consider possible take action on accepting the resignation of the city attorney Mr. Ford. And,
I have a question. So are we going to do that? Or are we going to use a consultant? Or do you want to just?
Yes.
Okay.
What was that?
I asked him if he wanted to go ahead and, finalize the resignation and just use him as a consultant next week? Or did he want to just extend it to another week and he wants to finalize the resignation and just be a consultant next week? So I make a motion that we accept the resignation of December the 8th, is that right? For Messer and Fort, and we continue to use Messer and Fort as.
No,
That's not on the agenda.
That's not in the agenda. That's not an agenda item.
I'll
He
second
says
that.
it can be said that
Of
way.
course, that's not on the agenda.
People don't know about that on the agenda.
It's
It
accepted
does
or
say
not.
discuss, consider, and possibly take action on accepting a resignation.
Accepting
Accepting
resignation,
it,
not
not
adding
extending
it.
it, not extending it.
It's legal to say it that way.
I would think so.
Andy said it's legal.
Or if you could look at alternatively, the mayor has the power to.
So, okay, so let me ask you a question. I was looking for it, Andy, but, your term was appointed and then ratified. So there is a clause, and I have it right in front of me, it does say, however, because it has to be, the resignation has to be accepted by the governing body. However, when the municipal officer is appointed, the mayor may accept the resignation on the mayor's own action, or where is it? It's chapter.
He should
Do
know.
you know what I'm talking about?
No. I know that you have to accept it.
So.
What's your point?
I'm just going to accept your resignation effective December 8th.
I can't hear you, Todd.
I don't know.
I'm asking legally if that is legal.
Of course.
I don't know if the body has to ratify that or not on resignation. I know it does on appointment.
Okay, it says section 22.012, resignation of elected or appointed municipal officer. A municipal officer elected or appointed under this chapter may resign by submitting a resignation in writing to the governing body of the municipality. You did that. You did it to the mayor and the council of aldermen. Says the resignation is subject to the approval and acceptance of the governing body. However, a person who is appointed by the mayor, and you were, because Mark Merrill did it, may submit a written resignation to the mayor for the mayor's action. So I'm taking action on this, that it's effective December 8th.
I think the most conservative approach would be that, though, that the body needs to act on it.
No. No.
Didn't you hear
I
what you
can read the
read?
statute if you'd like.
That was what I was just reading. That's
Right,
exactly
a
what I was
municipal
saying.
officer appointed, elected or appointed under this chapter, which is what we are appointed, may resign by submitting the resignation in writing to the governing body, subject to approval and acceptance by the governing body.
Yes, but then it says, however.
I know.
Yes.
I'm just giving you my most conservative approach.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
so,
Double check.
however, a person who's appointed, and that's you, by the mayor, that was Mark Merrill, may submit a written resignation to the mayor, you did, for the mayor's action, I'm taking action,
But
it's
he-
effective December 8th.
Legally, he wasn't appointed by Mark Merrill. The council
He
would have
actually
had,
signed that.
but the council would have had to
Yes,
ratify it.
he appoints and they ratify, that's why it says the governing body has to approve. But however, that would be in other circumstances, I'm doing it, if you don't, I'm doing it. It's effective December 8th. Okay, so that was, okay, is there anything else that we need to, we're back to executive session. Is there anything else that we need to take care of as a result? I can't remember. Did we cover everything? Is there anything else?
Number 6.
So then, yes, we're back to number 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 6 want to go crazy back and forth in discussion.
No, they took 2 hours.
You know, with both positions, this is to take action on the appointment, reappointment, or ratification of the September vote to place Josh Long and Christopher Atkinson on the EDC. For those of you who don't know what's going on here, at that meeting, there were 2 names on the agenda. That's what was noticed to the public. And it was my position that if you're not going to choose one, you can vote yes or no on each. You could approve one, deny the other. You could approve both. You could deny both. But this is what was noticed to the public. That's not what happened. One was approved, one was ignored, and another one put in his place. Therefore, improper notice. There's a lot of other arguments to that, though, and Andy holds a different position. But that night, when his partner, Pam, said that they could do it, she gave permission, the council to do this. I argued and said you can't do that. That's where we are now. So what has happened because of that, Mark Merrill has filed a lawsuit to correct that action, right? He's saying you guys didn't do it right. Then of course, Andy and the firm is defending it that we did. So this right here is to just ratify what we previously did. You asked the judge to force, make us to do something, and that's what we're officially doing. So.
Okay.
Okay. So.
My position at this point is that I would like for you to go ahead and take action, if you're taking action, on item 15A, part B. Prior to this,
we have no other action to take from executive. That's from executive, right?
yes.
Okay, so they've already said they don't have any other action to take from executive.
Okay. So my understanding is then that you are, as a group, as a board, going to go ahead and ratify and try to correct or cure the defect in the original appointment. Is that correct?
That's what they're about to vote on if they're going to take action on that, yes.
Is the council willing to make a settlement on the lawsuit based upon the fact that the council would not have taken any such action had the suit not been brought?
Any good advice that you want on the lawsuit should be done in executive session, not out in the public, and that would be my recommendation.
And
Council to the city council, but not to discuss this in the public. I'm happy to entertain any discussions outside of that. If you'd like to relay a settlement offer, I'm happy to receive it and relay it to the council and discuss it with them. I would like it in writing though, please.
Okay.
What? I'm asking if, I'm asking if,
I'm recommending voting to affirm the prior vote. Yeah, I would recommend that.
I make a motion that we ratify the appointment of the following individuals to serve on the board of the Gunter Economic Development Corporation, job 1, place 2, Christopher Atkinson, place 4.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. We're moving to number 17. This will be discussed, consider, and act on the agenda items to be placed on the future. Council meetings, agendas.
I'm so tired. Like there was something. What was it?
City administrator.
Oh, yes, thank you. next agenda a ordinance for a RQ? No, for a city administrator. Did I say
I think we need to-
We need to discuss it first, and find out what all you want on it, before we just draft an ordinance. Because I promise you, if you trespass upon my rights and my roles and duties, it's not gonna go well.
Okay, so how do we go with that?
Speak up, Connie.
Additionally, right now, you haven't done, is you haven't talked to the staff to find out what they actually need. So we're talking about now creating a new position that may not even be needed when possibly there's another position that may need to be needed. So I'd like to talk about that first, now that I've interviewed all of the staff and asked all these questions. What do they need? Because it matters what they need.
And how would you like for that to be worded?
No,
I
it's-
would like to
Right, so, we're limited in conversation, but y'all wasted 3 hours of our time.
Stop asking
You know,
the
if you're
attorney.
gonna ask a question, address the
I am
audience.
trying to make the motion legally.
You're
so that
asking
we
him
can-
everything.
We're going to
So
discuss.
I would like to make the
My
motion to
God.
discuss adding a city administrator to the staff in Gunter, Texas.
Hey,
Should we discuss and take action?
Yes.
To discuss and possibly take action.
I'd like some clarification as far as where is our adding So my next question to you is, who has the sole authority to hire these positions?
So, hold on a minute. Now we're going outside of, don't bother each other. We can only put the topic on the agenda, but we can't discuss it here. So, what I'm gonna add to the next agenda is to discuss the position of the city administrator, and then provide what the staff is giving me, the information, some of the we just need to discuss this, figure it out first, if we even need one, what we actually need, so I'm gonna put it on the discussion.
My motion was to discuss and possibly take action.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I,
And that, just, Mayor, what we've done in the past is that's been a motion that needs to be seconded and voted on if it's gonna be on another agenda. So, because there's a discuss, consider, and act on, so.
So I made a motion, Betsy seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. So we'll add that to the agenda. Is there anything?
again, can we add the 2 agenda items that have not yet
Yes,
come
they'll be
back?
on the, well, they'll be on the regular, you want me to put them on the special one?
That'd be great.
Okay, so agenda items
Do
for
we need to second that?
reconsideration. No, I have to bring them back, I was just gonna only do it in a regular meeting tonight, this is why. If I'd added those 2, we'd be here all 3. So the agenda, the reconsideration items, so we can do that.
Do we need a second for that?
I'm just gonna put them on half.
Do we need a second for that?
Under this item, yes.
Okay, I will make a motion that we bring back the 2 items that were sent back for reconsideration, rules of decorum and agenda preparation.
Okay, there's a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous, so we'll add that.
Mayor, are citizens allowed to ask and add on to that as well, or no? Like ask if something could be added?
So I will tell you this, citizens, you guys need something, you should reach out to one of the audience. If you can always reach out to me as well. If you want something, you want to talk about something, I'll absolutely consider it, so just send it to me. The agenda is your public business, so I will entertain that, of course, I'll open that up to.
Well, just go ahead and say it real quick. I'd like to somehow address if the council, the topic be discussed on not setting time limits for executive session, but somewhat have something that's respectful to the citizens that do come. And obviously, we all have tired eyes, and we're all not like making the best decisions because we're all angry, we're all tired. And not only that, can we We obviously have an attorney who comes, and that's costly for these ridiculous long executive sessions, so I think that should be definitely discussed and considered in the future.
So to discuss,
Not setting time limits, but getting an idea of appropriate time regarding people being here.
ways to be more efficient. Okay,
When is the PNC meeting currently scheduled?
Thursday.
You do know that's a conflict with the state championship.
Yeah, next Thursday is the state.
Just,
Okay, thank you for pointing that out, so we need to get in touch with.
just maybe what citizens should
Because
say.
it has to be posted before, so we would know, so it's just good to know.
Okay, we'll work on that. That's what I need to figure out. Okay, we'll work on that. Okay, so we've completed everything, anything else? So we're gonna turn the meeting at.
Wait, you have a comment?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is so embarrassing. Teamwork. We can all see what's going on in this world. And we know that the majority of people out here want to see some teamwork instead of roadblocks all the time. And yes, coming from you, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. If anybody can explain it to me, I wish they would. Or can y'all not see that? That what your citizens, what the people you represent, want to see some teamwork? I don't know this woman. I can't vote for her. I can't vote in the city of Gunter. But I can see what's happening here. It's sad. It's destructive. It's not good for anybody, including you. It's not good for you. And I don't know who else. I can only see what I'm seeing tonight from you. But if y'all are involved in anything that has to do with trying to keep this city from moving forward, stop. Just stop. We want some cohesive things. We want to move forward. The people have voted. I'm not one of them, but I know what I would do now if I could vote. I know what I'd do. Examine yourselves, please.
Michael, quick. Please, very quick. We can't hear.
You all need to grow up, and I'm going to pick on you, because if she has witnesses of you yelling at her, you owe her an apology in front of all of us. You're being very nasty. She's got witnesses, and I tell you, I wouldn't put up with it 1 inch.
Tony, you willing to give her an apology today? We're all here. We're all here.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn the meeting.
Didn't think so.
At 1:08 p.m.